Now, not a single piece of track has been laid, but today there was yet another critical report on the government's planned high-speed rail link between London and the north of England. This time it came from MPs. The government says the HS2 project will cost nearly £43 billion and is vitally important to Britain's economic future. It will connect London to Birmingham from 2026 and then expand up to Manchester and Leeds from 2033. But the MPs say the government's case is based on what they say are fragile numbers and research that is out of date. Our transport correspondent Richard Westcott has the details.
No one's going to be catching a new high-speed train for another 13 years, but the scheme is already controversial. Former supporters have been lining up in recent weeks to say they've gone cold on the idea, and today an influential group of MPs waded in.
I've moved from being a supporter to thinking this isn't the right place to put £50 billion of money. Now, I and my committee are not alone. There are a growing number of voices who are sceptical about this project.
This latest report says HS2's been plagued by spiralling costs and dwindling benefits. It says ministers have failed to prove the scheme will revitalise the regions rather than just London. And there's criticism of the way they've totted up the benefits for business users. It says they use a survey that's 10 years old and they assume that business people can't get any work done on the train. Now, in the modern world, that's clearly not true.
The fact is, at the moment, every day coming into Birmingham New Street Station, 5,000 people are standing. You can't work and stand on the train. Every day, 4,000 people at the moment are arriving in Euston standing. You can't work while you're standing on the train.
The government says HS2 will help bridge the north-south divide. In Birmingham, this is what remains of the Victorian station they built for the very first line to London. Here, there are plenty of supporters.
HS2 will connect England's cities in a much more dynamic way so that they perform in a more cohesive way, complementing each other. And there are major opportunities in places like Digbeth, Birmingham's creative quarter, and Highgate. And so HS2, I think, will bring investors and we will see those regeneration areas taking off. HS2 will bring prosperity and jobs to those areas.
But across the city, at a business that exports all over the world, the boss isn't convinced.
Is the business going to go back to London, or is London business going to come back up to Birmingham? Very difficult to say at this moment. The cost to the taxpayers needs to be looked at very closely, and that, I believe, from what I've seen, hasn't been analysed very closely, and it should be analysed further to see if there really will be a benefit to the taxpayer.
We've had the attacks, now expect the fight back. The government's publishing a report on Wednesday that will claim HS2 can make billions of pounds for cities all over England. Richard Westcott, BBC News, Birmingham.